2, 1. Welcome back to the Divij podcast, episode 114. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Super grateful to be here in Las Vegas with Mr. Sean Mike Kelly. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Cool. Sean is a very successful entrepreneur. I'm super excited to dive deep into the land of entrepreneurship. As you guys know, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 13 or 14 years old, and it's always interesting hearing stories from other people who've been doing, a similar thing to me, and I like to always just pick their brain and see if we can get some new education, and I know it helps you guys a lot. Before we get started, make sure you guys leave a review. It's super helpful, and stay tuned for more episodes coming every Thursday, and we're going to get into it right now. Sean, how are you, brother?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on, bro.
Yeah, in Vegas, too.
In Vegas, yeah, I took a 5 a.m. flight. Feeling good. How are you feeling?
I'm good, man. I don't get up at 4 like you, but...
You're not a morning person?
Nah. It's relative, though, right? I get up at 8, so for some people, that might be a morning person.
Yeah. Are you sleeping late, or like what? How do you get 8 hours?
I sleep at 11 or 12. I get about 8 hours on average. 8 sleep mattress, man. That thing's a game changer.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
That's the one that it's connected to your phone?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, your phone, it gives you a sleep score every night, tracks how long you snore, tracks your REM sleep, your deep sleep. I'm pretty big on biohacking these days.
Yeah. Do you listen to like Andrew Huberman and stuff?
A good amount of episodes, not every episode, but yeah. I'm definitely into him. Dave Asprey, Brian Johnson, Ben Greenfield, all those guys.
Yeah, I've been following Huberman for a long time. I feel like a lot of the stuff he says I agree with, but there's some stuff where I'm like, I don't know.
What?
Like this. I mean, he says he likes sunscreen, but sometimes I've heard him say in some episodes that he doesn't think it's good in some cases. And I'm big on sunscreen. I think sunscreen's like super important, the mineral kind, like we were just talking about. There was that, and there was some stuff about nicotine that he talked about in the sense of you can use nicotine for nootropics, but from what I understand I think it's like it reduces your blood lining or like something about your veins, and that can cause cardiac arrest.
Damn.
Just a couple things I'm like, I don't know. If this
well,
is
everything
right.
has a side effect, I feel like. So
yeah,
if you're taking something, it's not only going to be a benefit. So people got to keep that in mind for sure.
Yeah. I want to dig deep into like everything that you do in terms of entrepreneurship and business, but I kind of want to understand, like, first off, what a day in the life of Sean Kelly looks like. Like, what do you do when you wake up?
So I film 2 to 3 days a week, and I stack my episodes, as you know.
Yeah.
So I'll film 4 to 6 episodes a day. So if I'm doing that, that's pretty much my whole day for work.
Yeah.
And then on the days I'm not filming, I'm prepping for the guests or monetizing the show, whether it's sponsors or whatever. And then I also host networking events once a month. So I'll be working on that periodically, but pretty much grinding Monday to Friday, and the weekends I take pretty light, work a couple hours, play some Fortnite, play some chess, and play hoops.
Yeah. Oh, you hoop?
Yeah.
Are you good?
I'm decent.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. If you had to compare yourself to any basketball player, what would it be? Don't say Kobe.
Oh, nah, I'm like a power forward. I'd say Al Horford.
I don't know who that is, but he sounds like he's very talented.
Yeah, he's on the Celtics. He just won a chip.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Super cool, man. Do you with that morning routine, do you use any stimulants to kind of get your day started? I'm always curious.
Yeah,
like,
we were just talking about this. Yeah,
the caffeine
so I used
stuff.
to drink coffee probably every other day.
Okay.
And then I went through a phase where I was drinking it every day for some reason for 2 weeks, and then I got these wicked heart palpitations, dude. It was messing me up. Like on podcast episodes, I would be like uncomfortable. I'd be jittering in my seat. And I have some trauma from palpitations because I had a bad edible in high school, and I had heart palpitations for 2 weeks straight, got all these heart scans done, thought I was dying, and nothing happened. It was just anxiety.
Yeah.
So I had some PTSD from that in high school, and luckily it went away. I cut coffee out completely now.
Wow.
I just drink Magic Mind.
But that also has caffeine in it. I think.
Has a little bit. But I think my issue was I was combining Magic Mind with coffee.
Yeah.
But I try to be as holistic, as natural as possible,
Yeah. It's so interesting, bro, because I had a phase where I was having panic attacks, and I would just be in like the back room, like wherever I was, just like feeling my pulse like that. Did you ever go through that when you were dealing with your palpitations, like where you were constantly checking your pulse?
I wasn't checking my pulse, but I would just get so jittery, so uncomfortable. Like I'd put my hand on my heart and like try to calm it down. But it's crazy that anxiety can just cause that, dude.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing wrong with my heart. I got the most advanced scans done, nothing wrong. So people thought I was crazy.
Yeah, but you probably in your mind thought like I'm having a heart attack right now. Like this
For
is
real.
game over.
It felt like it.
Yeah. Did you ever like call the ambulance and like try and get paramedics?
I've been on an ambulance. I've been like rushed to the hospital. Like it's pretty intense, man. Mental health.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll get into that. I'll tell you this. I had a similar story. I was on shrooms.
Oh gosh.
Back in this was I like to say it's Divij BC, before Christ.
Yeah.
I was on shrooms. I was drinking. I smoked weed, and I was in Big Bear. And everything kicked in at once. And I was like, dude, like in my mind, bro, I wanted to kill people. Like it was dark. And so I ended up just leaving. I was with some of my friends and I ended up leaving them and I ran to a restaurant. I called my sister. I was like, yo, this is not good. Like I need help right now. So I called the ambulance and they charged me like 5 G's to get to the emergency room. And I was in there for 10 minutes and in 10 minutes I was fine because the trip ended. But, you know, I think it's normal. It's a phase, right?
Yeah. Has your stance on shrooms changed since you found religion?
No, I would still do it. I think when I did shrooms that one time, my boy, he was an ex-drug addict. And so I won't say his name, but he handed me a weed gummy. And he was like, you should take this whole thing. And I was like, dude, it's 100 milligrams.
Holy crap.
Like, you're supposed to take 5.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, you're good. So I took it because I didn't know what the correct dose was. So I think it was the combination of all 3.
I mean, that alone would send me to the hospital.
Crush you, yeah.
I eat 5 mgs and I knock out. So 100, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I've had panic attacks with 5 mgs. So
Same, yeah.
This was surreal. Like I thought it was.
Yeah, 100 with shrooms. And how many shrooms did you eat?
I took like maybe half a bar of chocolate, which is also a lot.
So like 2 grams?
Maybe like 2-3 grams. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a full trip right there.
Full trip.
Damn, and you were drunk.
And I was drunk. Yeah.
Holy crap.
Not
So
proud of it.
You were wild back in the day.
Yeah, I had a journey.
I went through that phase too. Yeah, I almost killed myself trying to fit in.
Really?
Yeah, I would pound alcohol at parties, blackout drunk. I almost had
You weren't intentionally trying to kill yourself. It was more
no,
like
I was just trying to be cool. I thought that was the cool thing to do in high school and college, get belligerently drunk, you know? So
It's
yeah,
not
I
the
almost
cool
had to, no, not at all. I almost had to get my stomach pumped once. It was nasty. Because I didn't use chasers.
You were just cranking Fireball.
Straight vodka. Yeah, just vodka at the time.
Okay.
Tequila in college.
Yeah. Were you leaning on the alcohol because you were feeling like you had anxiety in social circles? Like, was it your way of kind of being more extroverted?
For sure,
at the time?
yeah. It was a confidence booster. I
Yeah.
had trouble talking to people sober. So I was drinking, at least 3-4 days a week.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Now I don't drink at all.
That's crazy, right? The transformation of when you go sober.
Yeah, it's a huge one.
For real. I had that journey too, though. Like there was a time in high school and college, post-college, where I was just drinking. I was like, I can't talk to anybody because I have so much anxiety. Like, because I think as men, as you get older, how old are you?
27.
I'm 28. Like, I think the early 20s, you know, our brain starts really kind of, I think, developing. I don't know the medical science behind it, but like, you know, life experience, like baggage, regret, all these things start to add up. And so when it's just you and a person, sometimes that interaction can get challenging. And so alcohol is like the easiest thing to rely on, but it's never the answer.
No, it's a Band-Aid, right?
Yeah, it's a Band-Aid.
Yeah, I'm glad I got out of it at a somewhat young age because some people are still drinking well into their 30s, 40s, 50s. Saw it with my father.
Yeah. I want to get into that, but before we get there, I want to talk about the shrooms for a second.
Yeah.
Have you had a psychedelic trip?
Yeah, it's plenty. It's been a while, though. I went pretty hard in college, probably had around 7 between shrooms and acid. And then that was pretty much it. My last one was a bad trip. Thought I was dying, and I haven't done it since.
Yeah. Acid is chemical. That's not natural, right?
Nah, that's why I like shrooms more because it is natural. But yeah, acid's like this square little thing. Have you ever done it?
I have not done acid. I have done Molly.
Okay.
And I don't know. Have you done Molly?
I haven't.
That was the most fun I've ever had in my life. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, when I say I wanted to touch everybody and just be friends with everybody and like hug everybody, like, and the love, bro, is I was at Coachella. This was, I'm not going to say when it was, but this was at one of the Coachellas in recent history. And my boy was like, we were both on it and we took it at the same time. So our high kicked in at the same time.
Yeah.
And he was like, bro, try and be angry. And I was like, like that's literally what anger was at the moment, because that you just didn't know what that emotion was. But the come down over the next like 2 to 3 weeks after was terrible, bro.
I've heard that with Molly.
Yeah. Like I didn't want to do anything. I was just like this.
That's why I never took that one, because I heard about that. With psychedelics, I feel like there's not really that phase after. If anything, you feel better after.
Yeah, I would say so. Do you usually take chocolates, or are you taking like actual mushrooms?
So now I microdose. So I take chocolates or the pills or whatever. But yeah, full dose, I did the actual shrooms. It was disgusting. I threw up one time because it grows on cow shit. So,
wait, what?
Yeah, mushrooms grow on cow shit.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Well, these days they're growing them in other ways, but back in the day, that was normal.
So then do they clean them with like pesticides and chemicals to like get it to...
I'm not sure what the cleaning process is, but yeah, it smells disgusting, tastes disgusting, but now there's probably more advanced ways to grow them.
Yeah. When you're high on shrooms, do you like to be outside or like in a locked room with people or without people?
No,
Like,
definitely outside in nature during the day.
Okay.
I've found every time I was tripping without those conditions, it would be a bad trip. Like if it was at night, if it was people I don't know, or if it was indoors.
Yeah.
Nature is important for tripping.
Yeah, you gotta see the trees. And the trees kind of like start moving this. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, there was one time I was on shrooms. I went to the beach with my ex-girlfriend who cheated on me. It's all good. We were driving after the beach party, and the shrooms kicked in, and I was on my Robinhood. I think this was when like Dogecoin had just like something was happening with Dogecoin. And I bought a shit ton of it, and bro, the shrooms were hitting me so hard that I was like, I called my dad. He was like, dude, you gotta sell. So I sold all my Dogecoin, but I didn't realize that I sold it for like 10% of where I had bought it at. So I lost like, I think it was like 30 grand or something just because of the trip.
Damn.
So
if you held it.
Yeah.
You would have made a lot.
I would have made a lot of money, yeah. But I lost like 30 I think I would have made like 30 grand if I had it.
Oh, okay.
Or no. Yeah, I lost 30 G's, but had it just held it, you never know where it would have.
It hit like, I think 21 cents or something at the peak.
Crazy.
Yeah, I had it at like 7 cents, but same thing with you. I sold at a slight loss. There was too much emotion involved with Dogecoin.
Yeah. Are you big into crypto?
Yeah, I'm big.
Really?
Yeah. I just sold all my Bitcoin though.
What's been your best crypto investment?
Probably Solana. Solana I got in at like $30.
Okay.
It's almost 200 now.
Dang.
So 8x.
Yeah.
Which for most people in crypto, that's not even that good to be honest. But I'm not out here taking altcoin risks like I used to.
Yeah.
I got a house now and I want to have kids soon, so I'm not taking huge gambles anymore.
You're not messing with NFTs right now?
Not anymore, no. All those high risk stuff I used to do when I was younger, but now I just want kind of more stable income.
Yeah. Smart. You seem like you're very mature.
I've had to age fast, I'd say, and my friends are all 5 to 10 years older than me.
Do you accredit that maturity to being around older people, or is there other things that you would accredit it to?
Both. I just found the mindset when I was in high school and college, kids were just on such different mindset than me, you know?
Yeah.
I was trying to make money. I was trying to get out of my parents' house and make a name for myself, and they didn't care at all about that.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you graduate high school and college?
I did. I graduated high school, but not college.
Okay. So you dropped out of college?
Yeah, sophomore year.
Okay. And was the dropout because you were like, I literally do not fit in here? Or like, what was the motivation behind?
Yeah, I had trouble fitting in. Plus, I was already at a company at the time that had a couple $100,000 in revenue.
Okay.
So I felt like if I dropped out and went full time with that, I could make a living. And so I did that and haven't looked back since.
Yeah. How did your parents feel about your family?
Dad was supportive.
That's good.
And because he was an entrepreneur on the side, he sold books on Amazon and eBay.
Oh, wow.
And my mom was a little pissed at first, you know, Asian household. You're familiar with that. So
I know what that's like.
Yeah. So
they take their school very seriously.
Oh, yeah. Well, she used education to escape poverty in China. So she thought that would work with me, but different path, you know?
Yeah. And so when you dropped out, you had this business that was already kind of, you know, doing well. So you just kind of dove straight into that and focused on that business?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was doing decent, man. I was making $50K a year, which for a college kid, that's a lot.
You're rich.
Yeah, you're rich. Yeah. It's all relative, right?
Yeah.
So I remember going to Chipotle, like, yeah, give me all those toppings, man. I felt like a baller at the time.
Dang, double guac on that, bro. Double meat.
Yeah, because in high school, I used to struggle affording those burritos, so.
Yeah. Okay, so do you come from a family that, like, did you grow up in a lower class family?
No, I didn't, but they were super strict with like handouts, like my mother. So we were actually middle upper class, but I didn't get any allowance. I didn't get a car when I was in high school. I didn't get all those luxuries that my peers were getting.
So they were trying to kind of give you tough love in a sense. And like,
tough love, yeah, which I hated at the time, man.
I'm sure now you look back at it though, and you're like, that was the best way to get raised.
Yeah, if she just gave me everything, I don't think I would have been here right now.
Yeah. That's so interesting, man. I was reflecting on, I like to do a lot of reflection on my life and my business and kind of where I'm at, you know, and where I want to go. Obviously, I'm sure you do too. And one thing I realized was the maturity for me kicked in probably 26, 27 after I went through some sort of struggle. But like, I grew up also in an upper middle class family, but it was always easy. Like I had the cars, you know, I had the nicest car in school. I had all the money that I needed. Like there was no real like pain. And it sounds like you had that struggle a little bit earlier. And so maybe that's potentially why you've matured earlier.
Yeah, it was interesting because everyone had a car. Like their parents gave them like a $40,000 car. That was normal in my town. And I was also one of the few only childs in my town. So I was a bit lonely, I'd say. So all that time just kind of figuring myself out. It was a dark place.
Yeah. Interesting. I want to dig deeper into that. I'm glad you said that. In that dark place, because as an entrepreneur, you know, it's like you're starting something from scratch. It's a solo journey, at least in the first couple of years until you build something substantial. How do you navigate those dark times? Like, how do you push through the days where you're like, I don't want to do this anymore? Like,
yeah, it was tough because this was like right when social media was coming out. So you kind of had to figure it out on your own almost. So I didn't really have like a mentor guiding me through it, through the bullying and through the loneliness. And I was too ashamed to talk to my parents about it too. And I had no real friends because I would just hop friend groups like it was nothing, man. So it was all on my own. I had to figure it out. It was crazy.
Yeah. What were people bullying you about?
Multiple things. I was super skinny. I was like 150 pounds.
Yeah.
And I was a distance runner. So I was like a twig. I was Asian, but I didn't get good grades. So I would get hate from the Asians. And then, I was just like an entrepreneur mindset, trying to make money, trying to do side hustles and just a multitude of things.
Yeah. What was it about money that was so intriguing to you? Like, why were you chasing that?
That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like that just having money could prove people wrong. You know, like if I made a bunch of money, like they would stop bullying me and start respecting me, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So you had like the chip on your shoulder mentality. And
For
you were
sure.
Like, this is how I get out of this.
Yeah, because everyone thought I'd be a failure. I think I got voted like most likely to end up in prison or like
They have
be
that?
homeless. Not like an official thing, but
because I'm thinking about like the yearbook how they have like most likely to be famous. Like there's no way they have
at my
like,
lunch table they did a vote or whatever.
Yeah.
So
if it makes you feel better, I got bullied a lot, and in high school there's a girl, Dominique Libido, I'll call her out. She put a picture of herself wearing a turban on Facebook, and then she tagged me in it. There was another guy who made an account on MySpace called @Osama bin Laden, and they put me as the profile picture. There was a day when I walked up to the lunch table, there was like 30 kids, and as soon as I sat down, everybody stood up and walked away.
Damn.
Like strategically planned to fucking hurt me.
Wow. What were you getting bullied for?
I had a unibrow, I had an afro. I was kind of weird at the time.
Yeah.
You know? I don't think I'm weird anymore, thank God. But back in the day, I was kind of weird. I'll be honest.
Well, I actually think weird is a good thing.
I agree with you.
I think when you're not weird, it's
true.
like you're putting on a mask. Like, just be yourself.
Yeah. Amen. You're right. I do agree with that. So maybe I am weird. So yeah. But I think bullying, bro, it's one of those things. I have a question actually. Did you ever go from being bullied to being the bully, like after you made money?
Ooh. I definitely wanted to. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
I definitely wanted to message those bullies and like be like, yo, look where I'm at now type of stuff. But I don't think I pulled the trigger. So I would say no. But I definitely had the thought.
Yeah.
You know, because it's natural to want that revenge.
Yeah.
But now I just think the best success is just being successful and them seeing it. You don't have to really say much.
Right. 100%. One of the guys that used to bully me in school, I just bought the i8, the BMW. It's my first like supercar. And I pulled up to the Waldorf Astoria in Beverly Hills, and he ended up being the valet guy. And he opened the door.
No way.
Yeah, and he opened the door and he saw me, and it was like this beautiful moment where we both just smiled. Like he was happy to see me, and I could have been like, yo, fuck you, like piece of shit. Because he was mean to me in high school. But I was just like, what's up, man? Like, and it was all love, you know?
Wow, respect.
And that approach, that moment that we had is just, it was so beautiful. And in the gospel, it says that where two or more gather, you know, Jesus is. Something to that effect. And so even in this conversation or any conversation, I think when it's just you and someone else, I think it's hard to be mean because I'm like, God is present here. Like, why would I be mean to my brother or my sister? You know?
Yeah. So you forgave all your bullies?
Yeah, 100%.
Nice.
100%. There's people I think that, again, in the gospel, not to get too religious, but they say, you know, anybody can be forgiven, right? Like there's no cardinal sin, I don't think. But to me, there is. It's if anyone comes after my family, like
that's a cardinal sin for you.
To me, that you're not, you know, like I kill for my family. Period. Yeah. That's the only thing. But anything else, I think, you know, you could steal millions of dollars from me or do X, Y, and Z, and I would be like, I forgive you.
Really?
I think so.
Wow.
I think so. Would you not?
If someone stole millions of dollars, would I forgive them? It's tough. I try not to just have that resentment anyway because I think it's unhealthy. Yeah. You know, that shit will eat you alive. So I think, yeah, I'd probably forgive them.
Yeah. That's good. Resentment. Like, who wants baggage, bro? Like, you wake up on a Monday and, it's good to feel light. Like, you don't want to feel like you have baggage.
Yeah,
and
I've
resentment.
been scammed and stuff, and I've written it off and forgave them,
Yeah.
No
sure.
ill will towards them.
That's
I
good.
believe in karma, too, so if they're going to be scamming people, like, I think that's going to catch up to them.
Always.
I've seen it
always
so
does.
many times.
Yeah. I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it too.
2 days ago, actually, this guy, I invested in his restaurants. He just got booked by the feds.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What'd he do?
It was just all Fugazi, like all a Ponzi.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
Nuts.
Are you going to get your money back, or are you kind of
Probably not. She probably blew it all, but that's what I mean. Karma's out there. Like, I didn't have to call him out or anything. Like, it just caught up with him.
just happened? Yeah. I don't think people realize also, like, how small the world is, and how important the reputation is that we have. If I do something bad to you, thousands of people that probably know me as well. And if it really truly hurt you and you feel like you got scammed or X, Y, and Z, like, you're going to probably have those conversations with those people, and word spreads like wildfire.
Oh, yeah. These days. It's crazy to see all this Mr. Beast stuff unfolding, man.
Crazy.
Like, Carl just got arrested, and there's all these allegations. It's really scary.
Why did Carl get arrested?
I don't know. I just saw him get arrested, dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know the charge or anything.
Got it.
So it's crazy times. Because he was the most brand-friendly creator of all time, and now he's under attack.
Dang. It's kind of interesting, like, people that at that level, right? Like Logan Paul, Mr. Beast, like all these people that are at the top, you're putting yourself in a very vulnerable position, right? I think Andrew Tate said it. Like, first they try to cancel you. If they can't cancel you, they try to put you in jail. If they can't put you in jail, they try to kill you.
Right.
Right. So I was curious, do you have that fear? Because you're a public figure. People know who you are.
Yeah. It's definitely in the back of my head. I'm not going to lie. The more views the show gets and the bigger it gets, it's definitely like I'm seeing what these people are dealing with. And I'm like, okay, I got to prepare for that possibility. Even though I try to do really good business with everyone, like, you really never know what's going to happen. Especially with us, we're in the political space. We got some powerful enemies. You know what I mean? So it's definitely something you got to keep in mind.
Do you ever think about just folding everything and just being behind the scenes and not being in the public light?
I've thought of it, but the message is so important. I feel like it needs to get out, man.
Yeah.
Like, the truth needs to get out.
What is the message that you're trying to convey through your pod?
I just want people consuming, like, I have on all the top experts in multiple fields, and I feel like sometimes their message isn't getting out there. So it's not like one set message, but I feel like the mainstream media isn't covering a lot of the stuff we're covering on alternative media.
True. Can we take it back? Because I want to dive into the types of guests that you're having, the conversations that you're having, because I do believe that they're very impactful, and I'm very grateful for the conversations that you are having, because I think people are truly getting to learn and understand what's important, which they're not learning in school and college and from these media companies. But how did you start Digital Social Hour? Like, what was the inception of the podcast in the beginning?
Yeah, first it was a marketing show, man. It was just about making money. That's all I knew at the time. I was atheist going into the show. Didn't really care about my physical health and was neglecting a lot of different aspects of my life. So the first probably 50 episodes are about making money. And then started having on some like spiritual guests, religious guests, healthy guests like Gary Brecka, guys like that. And realized there's more to life than just making money. So that's where the show's at now. And lately we've been covering a lot of politics just because the election's tomorrow.
Yeah.
So been following that trend, and we'll see what happens after that.
That's awesome. Who do you think's going to win the election?
I think Trump.
Okay.
What about you?
Trump. Yeah, for sure. I think he's the better candidate. There's, I think for me, it's a very simple thing. It comes down to abortion. I think if you're a Christian man and you truly are a Christian, you want to live a Christ-like life, you can't follow Kamala Harris. You can't believe in what she says. It's just based on the abortion matter in itself. Yeah. So purely based on that matter, I'm definitely voting for Trump, or I've voted for Trump. But I'm excited, man. I think do you think it's going to be turmoil? Like, even if Trump does get into office?
If he does get in, I think it won't be as bad as if he doesn't. Yeah. He's got some like ride or die supporters. You saw it with the J6 incident. So yeah, can't deny that.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I just pray. I was at Rumble Boxing this morning, and before we went into the gym, the energy in the studio was just so off, and people were talking about politics and Kamala, and I could just feel the vibe in there, and I was like, this is not good.
Was that in LA?
No, just right here down the street in
Vegas.
Vegas. Yeah, Rumble Boxing. usually Rumble's fun, exciting. People are like having a good time. You're about to go fight, like you're feeling good. But I think this whole like election conversation is just like
a lot of tension. Yeah,
it's just weird,
which
energy.
is wild to me because I have on both sides, and I never get that riled up. Like I feel like I have pretty good control over my emotion, but when I see ordinary people struggle with controlling their emotions, it's interesting to me.
Yeah. I think people are too invested in it.
Way too invested, dude.
Just they have so much time on their hands.
Even the comments I get are crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's nuts that people care that much.
Right.
Like either way, you should just be focused on yourself and your business, your family.
Yeah.
I don't think the president has that much of an impact, in my opinion.
Amen. I think it's just something to think. It's something to care about, right? Like that's why people watch football or basketball. It gives them something to feel like they have an involvement in.
For sure.
And I think people need to take a step back and look at their family lives, their homes, their faith, their fitness, their finances. Like focus on the things in your life that you can actually control. And whatever happens in the external world is going to happen. So you just kind of go with it, but don't 100%. Let it control your emotions. Like
agreed.
Yeah. So you're kind of crazy because you in a very good way. But I was just talking to your producer and he was saying that you interview 6, 7, 8 people a day.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 interviews today, and I'm like, I hope I like have enough energy for this. And you don't drink caffeine, so I'm curious, how do you do that? Like, how do you mentally go through 6 to 8 interviews in one time?
Yeah, wonder if there's a formula for it. For me, like I ground, I do breath work. I feel like I've always just had that locked in mentality, whatever I'm focused on. Like even though I have ADHD, which is crazy, I can, if I really care about something, I'll be locked in. So yeah, I'll film 6 straight episodes. 6 hours straight, and most days I won't be tired, to be honest, but sometimes a guest will drain me.
Really?
So that does happen.
What causes you to be drained by a guest?
I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't know if it's an energetic thing, like if we don't align, but yeah, certain guests, like I don't know if they talk too much. I just feel drained after, man. I gotta sleep as soon as I get home.
Wow. Can you tell me who it is?
Yeah, I'll tell you off camera.
Okay, cool. I feel like I know who you're going to say because I looked through all your interviews. I know every single person you've talked to.
Yeah.
So I think I have an idea, but we'll save that for after. What are your favorite conversations like that you have? Because you interview people that are in, like, for example, entertainment, people like Charleston White in the music industry, Robert Edward Grant, Ric Flair. Like you're kind of hitting all the categories. So which of these categories is your favorite, and also which do you think is the most important for people to hear from?
Solid question. Yeah, it was definitely the health stuff for a little bit, but I feel like I've learned a lot of health information. Now I'd say the spiritual stuff. Yeah, searching for meaning and purpose. That's interesting to me. Hearing people's stories and how they got to where they're at. That's really intriguing to me.
Yeah, that's so true, man. It's so interesting. I think as men, I've noticed there's this like commonality between people like us and other people of our age. There seems to be this progression, especially when they're entrepreneurs, of, you're so hungry, you're chasing this dream, you're chasing the money, you get the money, you live the life with the money, you have ego, and then something happens and you kind of shift. And then it's like, okay, money's not satisfying me. Now I need purpose. And so people turn to spirituality, into religion, into fitness and health. And so it's just interesting that that's like this common trend that I'm noticing.
Yeah.
But what I've realized is once you get to that level of, or that part of the journey of spirituality and purpose and religion even, I don't think there's ever going to be, at least in my case, a moment where that doesn't satisfy. You know what I mean? And I think spirituality, in my opinion, is the best conversation that we should all be having, like across the board, and besides health, right?
I agree.
So what kind of spiritual people are you interested in? Like, what have you kind of learned in your journey of having these conversations of spirituality?
A lot, man. I mean, Billy Carson's always great. He just came back on. I love how he studies the ancient texts, because there is this argument, I'd love to hear your opinion on it, that a lot of the stuff in the Bible has been rewritten. It's not the original text. Have you heard about that argument?
I have not.
Okay, so there's these ancient texts where the Bible, I guess, uses a lot of those texts inside, but there's certain words that are changed.
Really?
Yeah.
For what reason? Like,
that's what people are trying to figure out.
Okay. Interesting.
So I thought that was interesting. But I like how he goes straight to the source. Like, he'll read off a tablet. There's these things called the Emerald Tablets. Have you heard of them?
No.
Yeah, it's like this thousands of years old. I don't even know how old it is. But it's literally on a stone tablet.
Like before the Bible was even...
Before the Bible.
Dang. Okay.
Allegedly. I don't know.
It's like fossils.
Yeah, kind of. Wow. So I like ancient civilization stuff because there's this thought that we are the most advanced civilization of all time. That's what they teach us growing up, right? But what if that's not true? What if tens of thousands of years ago there was civilizations that were way more advanced than us?
And then it just declined over time?
Who knows?
I've never thought about that.
Have you heard of like the Atlantis theory and all these ancient civilizations?
No, tell me.
Really?
No.
There's allegedly like one called Atlantis. There's a few others where they just had all this ancient technology. They could communicate with aliens, and they used the pyramids as a form of communication and teleportation.
Whoa. You're saying like that's kind of crazy. That's a crazy thought. You're saying like they communicated via like land masses.
I mean, if you look back and there's hieroglyphics of the same paintings and the same objects throughout the entire world. So how would they be able to communicate that with each other?
That's a trip.
Right? It's crazy. Like it's around the whole world.
Wow.
The same pictures. So they had to have been communicating somehow.
Yeah. I feel like we're on shrooms right now. This is crazy.
I love how open you are, though, because
no, this is so interesting.
I know certain Christians are like, this it's the only path. So
no, I'm a beginner Christian. I'm a baby Christian. I'm in. I just finished Exodus, dude. I'm like top of the Old Testament right now. So I'm very curious for the Lord. I have a lot of curiosity, and I think what I've found for myself is, when money doesn't excite you anymore, and things, watches, cars, houses, this stuff doesn't give you what you thought it would, I think relying on any sort of text, and for me it's the Bible right now, because I get to wake up and, dude, it's an adventure, bro. Like I get to learn about Moses and Isaac and all these just like stories that, whether you believe it or not, show you how the world was created. And I think when you have something like a text like of this nature, whether it's the Quran or the Bible or any sort of scripture, and that gives you sort of a foundation for how you go through your day, right? Like it's something that you can wake up with, you can in the middle of your day visit, at night you can visit, and it kind of adds that structure, and you're learning. I think it's so important for us as men and women, right? Like in such a challenging world, to have something that guides you. And so that's kind of my mindset, is like, it doesn't need to be the Bible. It could be anything.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Yeah. But guess like that, man, Robert Edward Grant, who you should have on, was mind blowing. Really? Have you looked at any of his work?
Is this the UFO guy?
No, that's Stephen Greer.
Okay.
I think you're thinking of, right?
Yeah.
The UFO guy? Yeah, there's a few of those guys too.
There's another UFO guy that you sent me. He was on Joe Rogan, but I can't remember his name.
Oh.
Dr. something.
Yeah. I've had on 1,200 guests. I lose track of names.
That's a lot of guests, bro.
I'm trying to catch Rogan, man. So he has the world record right now, 2,500 episodes.
Wow.
And I'm trying to catch him. I'm going to document it, trying to get into Guinness as well. Guinness World Record book. That was always a childhood dream of mine. Did you used to read those growing up?
Yeah, of course.
Classic.
The one that kind of freaks me out is the lady with the longest
nails. That one always is in the back of my head.
Scary.
Yeah.
There's also a guy that had his hand held up for the longest time. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
But he never put his hand down. So now his hand is like stuck like this.
Yeah, that's not worth it. Yeah, some of those are not worth it. Like the eyeball popping one. Oh, that one freaked me out.
Scary. Terrifying.
There's some silly ones. I get these Instagram videos of world records. I'm like, that's a thing? Like,
yeah. Have you seen, what's that show? Most Insane Addiction or something?
Yeah. I've seen that.
There's a dude that's like addicted to eating tortillas.
Yep. Like, I've seen the couch eater one.
Oh my God.
Toilet paper eater.
Is that real? Like,
some of them are fake, I heard, but still interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you had a strange addiction, what would it be?
Strange addiction. I don't know if I have any.
Besides podcasting, because you're clearly addicted
definitely addicted to that. I'm addicted to chess.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to get tested for if I have addictive personality. I wonder if there's a test for that.
Yeah. Have you done the Myers-Briggs?
I have, but it changes every 2 years.
Okay.
My results. I got to take it again this year.
Yeah.
Have you had the same one throughout your life?
I haven't taken it.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Okay.
Have you done an IQ test?
Only some BS online ones.
Okay.
And it's dropped a lot.
Really?
So I don't know what happened.
Just getting dumber.
Yeah.
No,
I was 130 in college, and I took it last couple weeks ago. I was like 106.
Isn't that bad?
It's really bad, yeah.
There's no way that's accurate, bro.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I could definitely see my attention span going down a lot because of TikTok brain and everything from when I was in school. So maybe that's what played a role in it. I'm not sure. I was getting distracted pretty easily during the test.
Yeah.
I haven't taken a formal test like that in years, so
Yeah.
Felt weird.
Do you remember those days, like in high school, we would actually sit down and like circle A, B, C, D? Like I haven't done that in a decade, bro. I kind of miss it.
You miss it?
Yeah, that was like brings me back.
The structure, I guess, of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to studying for a test and then planning the whole week around it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't miss it, but the SATs were brutal.
What'd you get?
1820.
Was that when it was out of 2400?
Yeah, what'd you get?
I beat you.
You beat me?
Yeah, but I cheated on it. I got a 22.
How'd you cheat?
2260. I looked at the person next to me.
No way.
Yeah,
I thought they,
so
in my room, they had different tests.
So they have different tests, but dude, I was so good at cheating. I'm not gonna lie to you, my whole way through USC, I cheated on everything.
Damn.
Everything. I had my phone right here, never got caught. But if you look at, this is not cheating advice, I'm just telling you how I did it. If you look at the person next to you, you got to sit next to the smart people, and you just have to look at the question and the order of the question. I don't even know how to describe it, bro, but there's a way to do it.
Oh, so it was the same question, but in a different order, you're saying?
Different order. So you just look at the first word of A, B, C, D, and then you know which one.
Wow,
right?
You had a system.
Yeah, so if she's C, and it says like, my name's Sean Kelly, and then my A is my name's Sean Kelly, like I know it's.
Wow.
You know.
How'd you do the essay, though?
That one I actually did. Like, I think that's where I got the poorer score. It was like a 650 or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's funny, bro. So I actually never cheated once in my life on a test.
Wow.
So that's where we differ.
Dang.
I was too scared, dude.
Okay, so it's not that you were an honest person.
I had the thought, yeah, obviously.
Okay,
I think any human would have the thought, right?
Yeah.
Cheating on a test.
For sure.
But you actually had the balls to go out and do it. Were you doing it on every test?
Everything.
Wow.
Maybe not every test. I was really good at like mathematics and stuff, so I didn't need to do it on every test, but most of the time, yeah.
And college, the stakes are higher. I mean, they'll expel you if you get caught, right?
Yeah, but I didn't mind. I was like, I don't really want to be here.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
did get detention once for plagiarizing in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah.
Teacher
I
hated
feel
me.
like now that's like going to be so common with all the AI stuff.
Oh, yeah. I think schools are banning it.
Really?
Saw that in the news, yeah.
Yeah. There's one called Cactus AI, I think, that you can like, it'll just write it for you in like 5 seconds. Like, you don't
A
have to do
whole
anything.
essay?
Whole essay.
Holy crap. I needed that in college.
Yeah. It's getting crazy out here. I want to go back to the money stuff, because you said that, you know, money was kind of your primary motivation. And
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by the concept of money as a tool versus making it your God, right? And I think, so I want to hear from you, like, when you started making money, like, were you educated and smart about your management of money? Like, were you investing well, or were you
somewhat?
buying? Okay.
I lost it all twice. So that sucked, but it also, I think now, I mean, God forbid, I don't think it'll happen again.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot from those losses. But yeah, I had some good investments in crypto. I got in Shopify stock pretty early. But the best investment's always been in myself, dude, in my businesses. Like, the ROI is not even close on anything else. Like,
True
investing in
that.
this podcast has been, I don't even know the multiple on that. No.
Yeah.
So can't beat that. And just investing in masterminds and knowledge and networking and events. That's been the best ROI for me.
Yeah. Building a substantial network and building your personal brand. Sounds like
100%.
the two things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's just like negative sentiment around masterminds and courses and stuff because of the era of like the kids that were filming with the Lambos or whatever. But I mean, if you can pay $1,000 to Sean Kelly to learn something versus going to school and sitting there and, you know, paying 60 grand, I think it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. I've done that many times, just paying for access to people.
Yeah.
Like, I'll get the best ticket at a conference or a mastermind just so I could be close with those people.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, it's definitely interesting, man, because this is what happened with me. This girl I was trying to get with in high school hacked into the Popular Kids group chat.
Yeah.
So there's like 100 kids in this group chat, right? And she's showing me the messages. They're all talking shit about me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're like, I hope this kid fails. Like,
That's messed up.
yeah. So that traumatized me at the moment, you know? So that was my purpose for making money, I think, was proving all those kids wrong.
Yeah. And then when you proved them wrong, how did you feel?
Felt good. Not gonna lie. Like,
Temporarily?
Yeah,
though?
temporarily.
Okay.
Felt good. But then, yeah, I just moved on. It's not really something I think about anymore.
Yeah. That's good, man. How do you manage your network? Because, you know, you seem to know a lot of people across different categories, and that's something that I'm dealing with now is like, you know, how often should you check in with somebody? How often do you call them? How often do you text? Like, have you built systems around it, or is it truly just based off of intuition?
Yeah, not really systems. If I'm on a flight, I'll try to like just text people the whole time. But it's not like a set schedule where I'm reaching out to people. If I have events, I'll personally invite people.
Yeah.
I actually personally text every attendee that comes to my events. It takes me 6 hours now because we get like 500 people, and I'm manually texting So that's something I'm proud of saying. We'll see if I could keep that up as they get bigger. But
Yeah.
it's important to grow and foster relationships. That's how I've gotten so many guests, dude.
Yeah. It's incredible. Yeah, you have one guy. I want to shout him out. Tyler Sherman.
Shout out to Tyler.
Great guy, dude. If you guys can find this guy, you should find him. But we just connected, and he's connected me to like 4,000 people in the last week.
He's brought me probably 20 guests for no charge, like just out of the goodness of his heart. Because he's like us. He wants to get the message out there.
Yeah. Now, when you say the message, because you mentioned that earlier, I think there's two super important messages, in my opinion. And there's many other ones. But the first one is the concept of faith and having faith. And the second is the health category, right? Plastic water bottles, the COVID vaccine, sunscreen, like all these things that no one's speaking about, bro. Like no one really talks about seed oils as much as really they should be, right? Like how bad walnut, grape oil, sunflower oil, canola, all these things they're killing us. And I just met this guy, Karthik. He's I think also in your group. And he was telling me how there's a correlation between people that got the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines and athletes who are getting cardiac arrest. And I thought that was so interesting because I run marathons and half marathons, and I got those two vaccines. Luckily, I didn't get the third. But I'm like, as I'm running, I now think about it. I'm like, at what point is my body going to give out because of, blood thinning and, drinking caffeine plus the COVID vaccines and stuff. So I love what you're doing because I think it's important for the health message to be put out there,
Were you in a fear-based state when you got those vaccines?
It was an uneducated state, and I also went on a reality show where I had to get it.
Okay.
And I was already on the island, so I didn't have a choice. So that's when I got it.
That was my main issue with it. I feel like there was a lot of fear that they were putting out there, and then people were like even myself, I almost got it. Our family was pretty scared. And my mom ended up getting it and all her friends. So I didn't like that part of it. Colleges and military were making everyone get it.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
You didn't get it?
I did not.
Lucky you. Yeah.
I know, right? I mean, the data is pretty scary these days, dude.
It's terrifying, bro. I mean, like there's athletes are just dropping down left and right now.
Bronny, I think Shaq's kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And they're like young and they're teenagers, 20s. And there's soccer players dying on field. Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, there's been a few of those. It's scary.
It's terrifying, man. I think, the health message is definitely very important. Who are some of the health people that, you follow that have been impactful?
Definitely Brecka.
Gary Brecka.
I was terrified of blood tests. Like, I hated them because
the needles?
When I was on Accutane, I had to get one a month.
Oh, wow.
And I hated it.
Yeah.
And that was probably the darkest 6 months I've had.
Wow.
Accutane. That drug is no joke, dude.
What is Accutane again?
It gets rid of your acne and acne scars.
Okay.
But it gets rid of all your emotions too. And it causes a lot of organ damage.
Wow.
So it's like the trade-off.
Yeah.
But I was so not confident with my body because I was skinny and had acne and stuff that I did it to try to fit in with people.
Yeah.
I wish I just tried to treat it holistically.
Yeah. Do you know what holistic medication or not medication, but holistic treatments would have worked instead of Accutane?
Mainly it's the diet, dude. Like they don't teach you that with acne. It's a lot of inflammation that your body is experiencing from the foods you're eating. Yeah. So I would have just switched up my diet and it probably would have went away, dude. That's the crazy part. I could have fixed it naturally probably.
Yeah. It's crazy what just eating natural whole foods can do. Like if we literally everybody's different. I'm not a doctor, but if we all just ate salmon, chicken, some rice, maybe greens and vegetables and fruits, we would probably be living for a lot longer, bro. Like the cereals and the, even plastic water bottles. It's one of the worst things you could put in your body.
Yeah. The average lifespan in a male dropped 3 years this year.
Really?
73 now.
That's so young.
Yeah. Super young, dude.
That's crazy.
I think it's partially because all these young deaths from the V word, but there's a lot of factors.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm going to Okinawa, Japan. Have you been there?
No.
It's the oldest median population in anywhere in the world. So people live till they're 120 years old, and so I'm so curious to know what they're doing out there that's different. So that's a quick teaser. Our next episode is gonna be with one of the oldest people in the world. So you guys got to make sure you check it out.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one, and just understanding what are the foods they eat, why are they so happy? Like, how are they living till 120? And some of these people are like still playing tennis and badminton and in their hundreds, bro.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's going to be a great episode. I like that you're doing that.
I can't wait.
Yeah, not a lot of shows are going out there, like traveling the world and filming and documenting other perspectives like that.
Yeah. I really want to do that. I also really want to talk to Sadhguru, if you know who that is.
Yeah, I do. He's on my list. I got a dream list for the show.
Okay. Who's like your top 5?
I'd say Elon, Trump, Sadhguru's up there, Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
And right now I just added Cuban because, man, he's going through an interesting time.
He's been responding to his emails. Have you emailed him?
Really?
Yeah.
No, I need to start.
I'll show you how I've been emailing him because I think he cares a lot about personality.
Yeah. And
so in the emails, I'm like, what's up, gangster? Like, go Mavs. Like, I'll start with something that kind of catches him, and he responds quick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mark.
Yeah, shout out to Mark. That's cool, man. Dang, I have so much more, but I know we're out of time. What's like the next thing that you're super excited for? Is there anything that's coming up that you're pumped about?
Having an event during F1, should be 1,500 people. It'll be the biggest one I've ever put on. And if I crush this event, I'll pretty much be in there with MGM. So having MGM as a partner is massive in Vegas. I mean, they control most of the strip.
Yeah.
So going to crush that event and end this year strong, man. And I think we'll end the year at 1,000 episodes released because I've filmed 1,200, but not all of them make the cut. So yeah, 1,000 episodes in 2 years.
That's a lot of episodes. Well, dude, I'm so grateful for you for taking the time. And I know doing podcasts is very close to your heart, and I hope you continue to do it. And maybe we'll see you in the Guinness World Records book next to the finger lady.
You'll see me there. Thanks for having me, man.
Of course, bro. Thank you so much for coming on. Make sure you guys go follow Sean. Where can they follow you?
Sean Mike Kelly.
And the Digital Social Hour podcast on all platforms. Make sure you guys leave a review. It's super helpful. Stay tuned for another episode coming soon. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace. Boom. Nice. Dude, you're a good interview.